Hello, and as always, thank you guys for tuning in to the Adventures of D-Webb Enterprises LLC. Today is Tuesday, August 24th, 2021, and on today's video, I'm just going to explain to you guys why it was a learning lesson for me on the WWE Summerslam event that happened on Saturday, August 21st, 2021. Now, before I get started, let me just mention, please like, share, and subscribe to my video. I'm really trying to get my followers up and basically just get more people watching my videos. It would definitely help me with selling my tickets, and obviously I just don't want to be like wasting my time. I appreciate whenever people actually enjoy my videos and I can maybe help somebody learn something. So again, I definitely appreciate you guys for watching. So today again is Tuesday, August 24th, 2021. And the last event that happened in the Allegiant Stadium out in Las Vegas, Nevada, was the WWE Summerslam event, which was held on Saturday, August 21st, 2021. And long story short was I had 3 tickets. They were in section 126. They were row 4, seats 1 through 3, and they didn't sell. So I personally, for one portion of my income, I buy and resell event tickets. Some are sports, some are just events like the WWE. But basically, I'm a Las Vegas Raiders season ticket holder, so I get rights to any of the pre-sales to any of the events that happen in the new Allegiant Stadium out in Las Vegas, Nevada. So it was a big learning lesson for me because I've basically been buying the tickets to all the events that are supposed to be coming up, which I think a lot of the PSL holders are also doing. But honestly, for me personally, I've sold most of my event tickets that I've had already. And this WWE was the first time that I got stuck with tickets that I couldn't resell. Now, I know everyone's situation is different. Now, for me, I'm 24 years old and I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so I don't have a family or kids at this moment. So maybe if I lived in Las Vegas and had a family and kids, especially with the WWE, maybe it would have been a little bit different. But I had no use for the tickets at that point once they didn't sell and it was the day of the event. So again, I'm over here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The event was in Las Vegas, Nevada. It wouldn't have been possible for me to actually get a flight, book a room, go to the event, come back the next day, and it would have just been so much in order to be able to go there and just watch an event. So that's why when you're buying events in a city that you don't live in, you definitely have to make sure it has a big following. And that was basically a life lesson for me with reselling tickets is just because it's in a big stadium doesn't mean it's always going to have a sellout. Now, I thought the WWE was super popular, but I should have done a lot more research and realized that, honestly, it's a little bit, not as popular as it once was and put more thought into it. And one other thing, which I'm not blaming anybody, so if they do watch this video, please don't think that I'm hating, saying it was your fault. But basically, when the pre-sale happened for the WWE, and this is one thing I'm going to mention too, is honestly, please put in the comments if I'm wrong and there's an easier way to do it, but I will never ever suggest anybody to buy the protection plan on any sort of ticket they buy on Ticketmaster, and I will explain that in a minute after I explain where the tickets were. And again, I'm not blaming the person who bought them, because long story short is I was traveling at the time of the pre-sale for the WWE SummerSlam event, and as a PSL holder, I got rights to the pre-sale. So I had a very close friend of mine go online with my information and purchase the tickets for me. But I just told them, because at the time everything prior to that event had been selling for me. So I had told them, and this is new to me, like the first event was only about a month prior to that. So I basically told them, just buy whatever you can get cost-wise, I'll pay you back, and I appreciate it. And that's all I left them on once I was leaving the day of traveling. And it wasn't even like they could call me that day when they were home, because I was on a plane while they were doing the pre-sale. So there was no way to get a hold of me. So they just went on, they found the 3 closest tickets that they could afford. And this is, again, not their fault, but it's just unfortunate. So I had to pay $1,250 just for the 3 seats, and then an extra $85 for the protection plan, because my friend thought they were doing me a solid by doing that, buying the protection plan in case of the fact that I didn't like the seats. I could contact Ticketmaster and do whatever I had to do to get reimbursed it and only lose the $85 for that, which at the time I thought was pretty cool with them whenever they first told me that day, like after I landed and talked to them. But the reason that I honestly, it kind of sucks and I would suggest no one to ever get it is, so this is what happened. As soon as they told me the ticket seats and location, so I'm sorry if I already said it, but the seats were in section 126. They were row 4, seats 1 through 3, and they costed $1,250, not counting the extra $85 for the protection. So as soon as they told me that, I was like, okay, I was kind of shocked at the price, and to be honest, if it was me, I always would buy an even number, at least 4, 6, 8 ticket. I just don't think that an odd number to start with is always a good option. I mean, I've had a couple events where I had 6 seats to the event, sold 3, and then sold 3, so I know people do buy 3 seats at a time, but it's just not a strategy I would suggest. I would always suggest getting 4, 6, 8 tickets if you're going to try and resell them to an event. But long story short was they bought 3, and for $1,250, so I get it, and after the extra $85, it was over $1,300, so they didn't have a bunch of extra cash at the time, so that's all they could spare at the time to get me the 3 tickets. So I was trying to be grateful and appreciative, but then I was gone for a whole 10 days, I think, at the time. So by the time I got home from vacation and I was looking up the resale market on StubHub and what people were reselling them on Ticketmaster, I had realized how many actually didn't sell through the original pre-sale, because now a week later it was at the point where it was the public sale again. So I was able to go on and see what the general public availability still was, and honestly there was like a lot of seats a lot cheaper that weren't that much closer or further away. So like my friend didn't know, they just bought into a certain section where I guess maybe it was considered premium or something. I don't know the exact reasonings, but the section that I was in, the seats were really expensive. So as a normal buyer on StubHub, you'd see my seats and then see seats maybe 5-10 rows back, and they're like half the price. So everyone online probably just assumed I was overcharging, even though I got charged more for being up close in the section. But it just wasn't a good sales strategy. Like, there was no way for me to beat the lower prices without losing money. So I'm not blaming my friend. I appreciate what they did, and they even got the protection plan in case that happened. So this is where I'm saying it was a scam, because so I realized that my tickets were not good for marketing. Like, basically there was a lot of sections that had cheaper tickets, and even just like 5 or 10 seat rows back, the prices were dramatically cheaper. So at that point, I just wanted my money back. I figured whatever, I'll lose $85 and try to get the $1,250 back. And so I tried to contact Ticketmaster, and I had the person who actually purchased them contact Ticketmaster, and literally nothing came out of it. I don't know how else to put that. I mean, they like really never answered the emails. They never got back to us, and basically I never got my money back. I don't know. I might try and send one more email now that the event's over and be like, you guys, I tried to get my money back. What's going on? But basically, yeah, they didn't care at all that I bought this protection package. They didn't hold true to it at all. And when I was trying to read the fine print, I guess it did claim it had to be like within so many hours or something, but to pay $85 for a protection plan that made it sound like you could really use it up to the like day before the event, it just didn't make sense to me that they were giving us a hard time about wanting our money back. So I don't know, that was like really frustrating, and that was why also it was like a really life learning lesson for me this Saturday with the WWE, is basically that you can't always guarantee just because it's in Allegiant Stadium it's going to sell. You have to really like, if someone's trying to do what I'm doing and resell tickets, you have to make sure that event has a very big following, or like the Gold Cup Concacaf tournament was a championship, so I had 4 tickets that sold super quick to that, but that was a championship, so even if individual teams didn't have the biggest following, that league itself had a big following, so I was pretty sure things were going to sell, and if it happens there again, I'm going to rebuy tickets for it again. But So another example of where things can be crazy even if you do think you know them. So in November, the Rolling Stones are coming to Allegiant Stadium, and I did purchase tickets to that, which I already thankfully resold. I had 6 of them, and I bought and sold them within the day, like within 24 hours of each other. But the problem is, I just got an announcement on my phone. Sorry if some of this information isn't to a T correct, but as far as I know, the drummer of the Rolling Stones died today at the age of 80, or within a day or two ago, basically. Again, today is Tuesday, August 24th, 2021. So I don't know the exact day the drummer of the Rolling Stones died, but I just got a message today on my phone saying he had passed away at the age of 80. So I thankfully already sold my tickets, but I have no idea what that'll affect the cost, because this was supposed to be their last tour already, but now that he died, are they just going to replace him? Like, what are they going to do? Are they going to cancel it? I mean, of course, then the people who bought them will have to get reimbursed, and then I'll get reimbursed in my original cost. But long story short is, you just never know. Like, it's just kind of crazy what can go on to change an event. So biggest thing is make sure they have a huge following. Like, even though I thought WWE was super popular, it obviously didn't have the biggest following that I thought, that people weren't going to pay hand over fist for the tickets. So another thing was the Rolling Stones. I don't listen to them, so I didn't realize how big of a following to resell that quick they had. So it is always a gamble. I mean, you never know what's going to resell. And I'm a ticket seller. I have season passes here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I live, for the Pittsburgh Steelers down in Heinz Field. And then I also have season passes for the Las Vegas Raiders in Allegiant Stadium out in Las Vegas, Nevada. So I have all the home game tickets to both of those teams. If anybody ever wants any, please branch out to me. You can leave anything in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. That's like one of the hardest things, is to get followers. I'm definitely trying to basically make videos on where I don't see a gap, like where I see a gap in. Basically, I don't see many people talking about reselling tickets, so I'm hoping that I can make videos to get people interested and actually help somebody maybe that is also doing the same thing. If they made a mistake, or I maybe made a mistake, they can hear about and then not make the same mistake. So again, I'm just trying to get more followers. This is the Adventures of D-Webb Enterprises LLC. Please like, share, subscribe, and stick with me. You guys, appreciate you watching. Thank you.